Old Soldier coming at you this morning from Robeson County, North Carolina, where we have had a cold snap overnight. Woke up this morning and it was 40 degrees outside. And this Wednesday night, Thursday morning, we're supposed to have our first below freezing night of the year. So hopefully that'll kill off these flies and mosquitoes and gnats and all them other nasty little insects that lingered on from the summer. But anyway, I hope everybody had a good weekend. Me and Mrs. Old Soldier got to spend time with our daughter and our son-in-law, and our grandbaby on the way. My little turd nugget, we're calling him. And then talked to my other son at Fort Riley and see how him and his wife and their little turd nuggets on the way is doing. So we do have an initial prediction on our daughter's baby. Tentatively, it's going to be a boy. They did some blood work and 90% sure it's a boy, but they're going for another ultrasound in a week or two that's supposed to determine the sex of the baby. So that's the tentative. So that's awesome. As long as it's healthy is all that matters. But anyway, folks, the serious business of the day. Joe Biden's Cancer Foundation took in $5 million. Okay? But not $1 went to cancer research. Imagine that from a Democrat. A communist. There you go. There's the right word for it. Because anybody that voted for Joe Biden, anybody that supported that side of the ticket and supports that agenda, you have joined the Communist Socialist Party of America. Yeah, calling it like I see it. Don't like it? Don't know what to tell you. But it falls in league with the Chucky Schumers and the Nancy Pelosi's and the Alexandria Dum-Dum Butthead Ocasio-Cortez, the Ilhan I lie about everything Omar, whatever her last name is, who married her brother to come to the, but for some reason, due to legal litigations and laws the way they're written, none of these people have wound up in jail yet. You're saying, what did Nancy Pelosi ever do? Go back and look at how her and her husband made their money. She used her position in Congress to get inside trader information like so many others did. That's one reason she won't leave Congress. It's too lucrative. During the Obama administration, she used the Air Force as her personal chauffeur service. How much that cost us taxpayers? I talked to a guy one time who was on air crew of a C-17 that took her to Iraq one time during the height of the war. He said they couldn't leave until she had all her liquor loaded. What do you mean? I said, yeah. We couldn't leave until we got all her liquor loaded. She was going to the green zone where you could drink. Their hypocrisy knows no bounds, folks. That's why it's crucial to support our president in this fight to end the corruption in the election system, to end the fraud, to investigate it, prosecute it to the fullest extent of the law. Not to mention, we need to encourage our president not to concede this election. Period.com. Due to the amount of voting irregularities in Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Representative Dan Bishop has showed video evidence here in Anson County, North Carolina, of Democratic poll workers escorting people into the election site with the blessing of the election workers in helping these people vote. And in some cases, just outright filling out the ballot for them. Highly, highly illegal. Were they reported? Yeah, they were reported. But nothing was done. The poll site wasn't shut down until it was, until it was completely investigated. It was allowed to continue to happen. Just like in Philadelphia and in Michigan, i.e. Detroit, where conservative/Republican observers were not allowed into the polling sites during the counting. Not to mention, you've got machines that were switching votes from Trump to Biden. But yet, we're told that none of that happened. And who are we told by? The manufacturer of the program that was used and Department of Homeland Security. Well, again, too many deep state actors involved. And that's why our president needs another 4 years to finish cleaning the house up there, draining that swamp out, getting legislation passed. And we talked about this before. I'm not going to say eliminate, but to redo some of the protections of federal employees. There is video evidence of phone chats amongst certain federal employees stating that they would use their positions to obstruct this election in any way possible, especially if it looked like it was favoring President Trump. But you haven't heard one iota in the news about any of those workers being brought up on charges or terminated from employment. You say to yourself, how did these things get so vast and so large? A lot of it truthfully started in the Clinton administration. Much as it pains me to say, it continued on through the Bush administration. And with the Obama administration, outside of the Department of Defense, all the other federal agencies increased employment. That's the other thing. During the Obama administration, Department of Defense was kind of curtailed on hiring. There was a few here and there per se, but overall, the IRS expanded exponentially. Certain other agencies did as well, and also had their budgets increased. Whereas the Department of Defense, we had to kind of sweep up our breadcrumbs and reuse them, if you will. I know I was working for them at that point in time. Okay? That's what we're up against here, folks. You take the march that took place this weekend in Washington, D.C. to support the president. Towards the end of it, people were disbanding, going home. That's when the violent element of the Communist Socialist Party of America, and that's the Democrats in America today. If you're a registered member of the Democratic Party and you don't want to be looped into that or lumped into that, I suggest you change your affiliation at least to independent. You can hate me for what you want for me saying this, but anybody that voted for Joe Biden and the leftist agenda, you're voting for communist socialist policy in America. And that is what the Democratic Party of America has become now. It's the Communist Socialist Party of America. Period.com. Yeah, there was a large portion of Democrats that voted for President Trump. And they don't want to give up the party, I guess you'd say. But the party itself, to include its leadership, has gone far left of the spectrum. And we might as well call them what they are. If you look at some of the campaign art for the Biden campaign and compare it to some of the old Soviet political communist art, a lot of similarities. the 3 lines and the E. Go look it up. Now, the Facebook, falsification checkers, who falsify all the facts that are actually presented, state that that's not the case. But it's too similar to be a coincidence, folks. And, that's the other thing about the Communist Party. They marginalize the truth in order to get the masses to believe something else. Okay? Just keep that in the back of your mind as well as what's going on. Anyway, folks, keep your head on a swivel, your ear to the ground, your eyes open, watch your back. Start gathering things that you can gather now in preparation for the coming future. Gather with like-minded people. Watch out for the violent, armed party of the Communist Social Party of America, Antifa and BLM. They're going to start coming out the woodwork in droves, is my prediction. Remember, I called this a while back before the election even ever happened. Didn't matter who won, we were going to see this. The protest, or the march in Washington, D.C. this weekend, at the end of it, look at what happened. And more of it's going to follow suit. But until tomorrow, my friends, God bless. Take care. Soul Soldier out.